Hello dear friends, welcome to Neha's Maths Academy. Today our topic is types of matrices. There are 11 types of matrices. In that, first is zero matrix. A matrix whose all elements are zero is called a zero matrix or null matrix. Following are the examples of zero matrix. Next is a row matrix. A matrix having only one row is called a row matrix. A row matrix containing n elements is a matrix of order 1 cross n. For example, in the first matrix, there are 3 elements, that is 3 columns, so it is 1 cross 3 matrix. Similarly, second is 1 cross 2 matrix, and the last one is 1 cross 4 matrix. That is, order of this matrix is 1 cross 4. Next is column matrix. It is exactly opposite to row matrix. In this, a matrix having only one column is called a column matrix, and column matrix containing n elements is a matrix of order n cross 1. For example, first matrix, there are 2 rows, so its order is 2 cross 1. In the second matrix, there are 3 rows, so order of the matrix is 3 cross 1. Next is a square matrix. A matrix in which number of rows is equal to the number of columns is called a square matrix. A square matrix having n rows and n columns is a matrix of order n cross n. It is called as square matrix of order n. For example, in the first matrix, there are 3 rows and 3 columns. So it is matrix of order 3 cross 3, or simply it is a square matrix of order 3. And in the second, there are 2 rows and 2 columns. So it is a square matrix of order 2. Next is diagonal matrix. A square matrix in which all the non-diagonal elements are 0 is called a diagonal matrix. Now, what are non-diagonal elements? See, this 1, 3, these all are diagonal elements. And except this element, all elements are non-diagonal elements. That means this 0, 0, this 0, these elements are non-diagonal elements. So what is diagonal matrix? A square matrix. A square matrix means with the number of rows and number of columns should be equal, in which all the non-diagonal elements are 0 is called as a diagonal matrix. Next is a scalar matrix. A diagonal matrix in which all the diagonal elements are equal is called a scalar matrix. Means scalar matrix is always a diagonal matrix. A diagonal matrix in which all the diagonal elements are equal. So these are the examples. In this, you can see all the diagonal elements are equal and all non-diagonal elements are 0. So all these matrices are scalar matrices. Now unit matrix. Now unit matrix is a special case of scalar matrix. It is a scalar matrix in which all the diagonal elements are 1. It's called a unit matrix or an identity matrix. For example, you can see here it is a square matrix, it is a scalar matrix also, and it is unit matrix because all its diagonal elements are 1 and all non-diagonal elements are 0. So it is unit matrix, and it is unit matrix of order 2 and 3. Unit matrix is denoted by capital I, and unit matrix of order 2 is denoted as I2, and unit matrix of order 3 is denoted as I3. And in general, A matrix of order n is denoted as IN. Next is upper triangular matrix. A square matrix in which all the elements below the principal diagonal are 0 is called an upper triangular matrix. For example, so in this example, this 2, 1, 1, 3, 1, these are the principal diagonals. So all the elements below principal diagonal are 0. And the elements above principal diagonal, it can be anything. It can be 0 or non-zero. It doesn't matter. But all the elements below principal diagonal should be 0. Then it is called as upper triangular matrix. Next is lower triangular matrix, which is exactly opposite of upper triangular matrix. So it will be a square matrix in which all the elements above principal diagonal are 0 is called a lower triangular matrix. So you can see the examples here. These are the principal diagonals and all the elements above it are 0. Next is symmetric matrix. A square matrix A is called symmetric matrix if A12 equals to A21, A13 equals to A31, and A23 equals to A32. Now, what is A12, A21? It is element corresponding to first row, second column, and element corresponding to second row, first column. So, A12 should be equal to A21. A13 equals to A31, and A23 should be equal to A32. So if this happens, then that square matrix is called as a symmetric matrix. And this means the elements which are symmetrically situated with respect to the principal diagonal are equal. The following are the examples of symmetric matrix. Next is skew symmetric matrix. A square matrix A is called a skew symmetric matrix if Aij equals to minus Abi. This is very important for all I and G. So this means that ijth element and the jith element are equal in magnitude but have opposite signs. And all its diagonal elements will be 0. These are the examples of skew symmetric matrix. See, all diagonal elements are 0 and Aij is equal to minus Agi. That is A12 should be equal to minus A21. And in this also A12 equals to minus A21, A13 equals to minus A31, and A23 equals to minus A32. Similarly, in this example, A12 equals to minus A21. So these all are the types of matrices. In the next video, we will see algebra of matrices. Thank you.